Here are some tips and tricks to help you work with Pagebuilder CK a little easier. Here's a test site with a lot of just filler text and not so pretty stuff. And let's go ahead and take a look at the back end of Joomla. And here I am in the articles. That is the core of what makes Joomla tick, or the pages, the articles or pages of the website. And here I have a home page and one called Test Page 1. Let's just go ahead and start right from the beginning and start with a new article. Now, when you see, we just have this text box here when we do a new article. And that's pretty standard. And I'm just going to say Test Page 2. It's pretty standard to just have this sort of page. But what we're going to do is we're going to add some flexibility by switching it to a Pagebuilder CK page. Now there are also Pagebuilder CK pages, but I don't usually use those for content. I usually use those for specialty items. I want to use this as an article and switch it to Pagebuilder CK so that I can get the features that Pagebuilder CK has and the features that Joomla core articles have with plugins and other sort of options. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it now, and you'll see that that takes my text box and sort of creates a little one here, and then I have all these other elements right here. So now I have my test page, and I can go ahead and just start creating content. Content is made up of rows. You see it starts out with a row that just has some sort of empty box here. I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and I've got one row here, and I'm going to go ahead and move a text box into it. So here I've got my basic text again, but I'm going to want to put a picture on the right hand side. So I'm going to take this row and make another column. And I want the picture to be, I want it to be a third. And I'll click X to save. And now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to drag a single picture right in here. So now I've got a text and a picture. And this stays open sometimes. You just click it, get it out of the way. Now this, when I get the orange box, I'll be able to edit the information inside. Same sort of thing here. And these outside gives me the style of this whole box. This gives me the style of the row. Let's look at favorite styles that are already built in for this whole row. And as you can see, as I hover over them, okay, well, I kind of like that one. So let's go ahead and do that. It's not exactly what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and take this row and edit the style. And I'm going to go ahead and in the style, I am going to make a border around it. Well, first I'm going to give it a 5 pixel radius, so it'll give it sort of rounding there. And I'm going to go ahead and choose, this ugly yellow color apparently. Well, let's get it a little brighter. I'm going to make it a 4 so I can kind of see it. You'll see it kind of just shows up as we're working. And if it doesn't, I could hit apply. But I'm going to just go ahead and save it. So now this style is different than what we had been using. So I'm going to go back over here to my favorites, and I'm going to say add to favorites. And so now you'll see that this style is up at the top. So when I come up here and I bring another row, come on, there we go. You see I just kind of have to hover until it goes right where I want. And I'm going to make this a 3-column row. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to add that to the row itself. I'm going to add it to this box here. Then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to choose this. And this one I'm going to choose that. And over here, I'm going to go ahead and take my picture. Here's my image. And I'm going to put a border around it. And I'm just going to go ahead and make it so we can see it. And 5 pixels. And apply. So now I've got my picture with the border. I've got all sorts of ugly looking stuff here. And I'm going to save it. So now we can go ahead and take a preview of it and take a look. And this will show my ugly border, another one, a shadow, and my picture with the border around it. Let's jump on back to here and let's say, you know what? I kind of like how this looks, and I'm going to want to use this sort of layout for another page. So I'm going to come on over here and I'm going to save it as a page, and that's going to save it as a Pagebuilder CK page. And I'm going to call it template for site, and you can name it whatever you want. But we're done with this. So I'm going to go ahead and save and close. So we're ready to make our next page or article for Joomla, and I'm going to say new. And we're going to say 2018 Christmas party. Why not? You've got to save it first. And you might choose a category and some other sort of things. But for right now, I'm just going to switch it to Pagebuilder CK. Okay. And there it is. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and load a page. So let's go ahead and load this page. And we can either replace any content that we had there, or we put it on the top or the bottom. Sometimes if you are replacing some content that was built right with that just basic text editor like we saw in the beginning, you might just want to place it at the bottom so that you can copy those elements and put it in. But in this case, there's nothing there, so I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. And you'll see here's our page that we can go ahead and make whatever changes that we want to it and save it as our new page. So let's take a look at some of the other things that we can do. So just like we saved our favorite styling to this box in the favorites, we can also save some elements. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to add another row. And I'm just going to go ahead and for this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and make my own custom button. So let's find the button over here. I know it's here, heading, teams, button, okay, and we'll drag it over here. And we're going to go ahead and just going to right away take a look at the button. And it says click me. And you can see it'll just change it right away. And if it doesn't, you just hit apply. Let's go ahead down here to the styles, and you can see there's the color. And make it this color so we can see it. And I'm going to go ahead and make the text instead of that color. We're going to go ahead and make it white, or whiter rather. I'm going to make it big too. And wow, that's big. Okay, so I kind of like how that is. So now what we can go ahead and do is we can take that button and I can go ahead and save it right here. And I'm going to call it pink button. And okay, and okay. So now when I'm in my page or even in a module, which we'll go over next, I can go ahead and come on down to my elements, and here's the pink button. So I want to add a pink button there. Great. And so I can take elements that I really like and I have set up exactly as I want and save them a number of different ways. So let's talk a little bit about modules. This would be a page area in our site, and this would be a module here. So Pagebuilder CK also has module options. So those styles and things that I've already saved, I can go ahead and load into a module. Just to show you, let's go ahead and take a look. Go ahead and save and close this page, and we'll come on over to modules. And I'm going to go ahead and just look at any Pagebuilder CK modules I already have. The logo right there. We'll take a look at it. When you first come into it, you're just like, oh, where's my stuff? You do have to click on the Pagebuilder CK. And you'll see that we have this little Joomla picture right there. So let's say we want to go ahead and add a pink button. We can just go ahead and add it on over there. And in fact, I see that this is 2 columns, so I'm going to add it right on over there. And save. Same sort of thing. We can be working in here, and we can save it as a favorite style, or we can save it as an element, or a page to be reused later. So now let's say we really like this pink button, but we really want it to change to something different when we hover over it. And we have a bunch of them. No worries. Things that are already published, we are going to have to go in and change by hand. But for all our future content, let's take a look at how we're going to go ahead and work with that. We're going to go ahead and come up to our components, Pagebuilder CK, and we'll see all the pages. Here's that template that we have for the site. Here's all the articles that we have set up with that are now using Pagebuilder CK. Any that are just core Joomla articles won't show here. Here's any modules that we have. And here's our individual elements. So let's take a look at our pink button. And we're going to go ahead and edit it. And we'll come on, oh, styles on hover, here we go, background, and it's got that color here, and we're going to make it dark, okay, and save and close. And so now when we come back to our pages, in fact, let's just go ahead and go right from here. And so now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to just make a few more columns. And if I went to advanced layout, I can choose very specific numbers for these columns and then lock them in place so that the rest just autofill. I'm just going to keep it standard right there. Now you see all this content moved over here. I'm going to go ahead and take my new pink button and move it over here. And you'll see it changes to black. Now it won't change the other ones I've made, so you will need to go back and change those. But it will help so that when you want to load information, you'll be able to easily change it if you've decided that you want to change that sort of style. While we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at some other cool things. Now you'll notice as I hover above these block elements, I have this. So if I want this whole row, if I want this to have a vertical alignment and this to be aligned to the bottom, you'll see how it will move around so that all this content within the row can be adjusted how you want. You'll also notice that when I go to the individual rows and I go ahead and edit the styles, I have some animation options. So I can go ahead and say, do I want it to move? And then I can go ahead and play the animation, see how it's going to look. And that's a little bit fun. And again, if you like how that animation flows and this whole thing, you can go ahead and save it as well. So we would come up on into here, go to my favorites, add to favorites, and it will save that animation. And so there's a few tips and tricks on how you can use some styles and the different elements within Pagebuilder CK to make your work flow a little bit easier.